I can't feel the tadpole. It's gone. We're free!
My powers, they're draining. Just like Mizora said they would. A small price to pay in the grand scheme of things.
Hard to believe we have actually prevailed. But it is true.
I can't feel the tadpole. They must have all died with the brain. That means we can't turn into mind flayers. Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with being a mind flayer, of course.
It's all right. I knew what I was doing.
I will ensure that all Githyanki know your name and your sacrifice. What you have done today will start a fire that rages across the astral plane. With their lost prince returned, my people will burn away Vlaakith's corruption. And it is all thanks to you, the Illithid who defied a netherbrain.
I did, didn't I? I saved the fucking world. And I think I might live long enough to tell the tale too.
I thank you, my liberator, my savior. My people are leaving, and I must leave with them. Come, Lae'zel. We will free the Githyanki and dismantle the Empire. Let them be imprisoned no longer.
Jacques von Findur, source of my joy. Without you, I wouldn't know warmth. Only ice and fire. I can never forget you. Your name will be etched in our slates. You will be called Mlagir, Liberator. Orpheus, I am ready.
Culas! Cuthas! Farewell, Gestil, my liberator.
With the Githyanki gone, there's nothing left but the silence of the city, smoldering, waiting to be rebuilt. But it seems that Gale's mind is elsewhere.
I can see the cogs moving behind your eyes, Gale. What's on your mind?
The crown. It's somewhere in the Geontha. If I salvage the stones, I can reforge it. The power of Karsus would be in my hands. But what then? What would I do with it once I have it? Sage and timely counsel, as always. And I intend to heed it. A wise man learns from his mistakes and strives not to repeat them. I shall bring the crown to Mystra. She'll cure me of my affliction. And I'll finally be free. And a more deserving one this time around. If this adventure has taught me anything, is that there are things in this world far more valuable than power. You, for example. You're always wiser than me when it mattered most. Besides, growing quite fond of this merry band of ours, but I'd quite like to see what happens to it. I'm sure Misra will summon me soon enough, but until then, I propose we celebrate our victory the mortal way, with a drink in our hands and reckless abandon in our hearts.
A nip, a dance, and a song. Don't mind if I do. I think we're due an evening's reprieve. What's our leader have to say?
Yes. We should see if the elf song's still standing. I won't imbibe, but I'll be happy to be away from here. And in your company. I honestly don't mind what we do once we get to the... Ow! What the... Oh, no. Oh, God. Well, it was nice when it lasted. Ah! I'm sorry. I have to go.
Astarion! Gods, what a horror. To feel the sun on your skin for so long, only to be forced back into the shadows.
It's over. And it's all because of you. You, who were destined to become a thrall. Thanks to you, there will be no Illithid Empire, no Death God's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
Soldier. I am different. Better. Before, all I cared about was survival. Now, I think I'm ready to live. I accept your assessment. You would have been an excellent helpmate in my exploration of what it is to live. But perhaps we are both of us too changed. Where will you go now? I will miss you, but I wish you luck. We have accomplished so much together, and will continue to achieve a great deal apart. Congratulations on your victories, and don't hesitate to call on me in future if need should arise. I suppose this is goodbye, soldier.
My shining star. Since I've known you, we've shed more blood than could ever fill the Cheon Tha. The wounds we sustained were the testament to our might. But last night, I swear to you, your touch healed every one of my bruises and wiped away every scar. Through you, I've been born anew.
A moment passes. Will's eyes glance up to his horns.
There's something I need to ask you. Something terrible. Something greedy. Something unreasonable. I'm the blade of Avernus. I swore to cleanse the hells of the devils that threaten the coast. And I know my first target, Mizora. I won't let her claim one more soul, slay one more victim. I'm going to make my way to the hells and tear the horns right off her damned head. I want you to join me. A reasonable person would say no. I still want you to say yes. Then we die proud, knowing we braved the hells to slay the fiend who held my leash. But have faith in me, in us. We'll cut Mizora to ribbons before she can so much as groan Zariel's name. Say you'll come. I must have played this conversation in my head a dozen times this 10-day, and practiced how I'd say no. But I can't. Not when I know deep down that you're right. Forget Mizora. The people of the coast call to the blade and his star. Are you ready to be their hero? Come. The next page in our saga begins.
Last night was perfect. Though I couldn't help lying there thinking about my parents before you stirred. I gave them the release they asked for, freed myself from Shah's grasp just as they wished for. But there's moments where I think I'd trade that to be able to see them again. Talk to them again. There's so much only they could have told me. But that's all gone now. I've got to move on. Find some place for myself. I was hoping you'd say that. Whatever lies ahead will be far less daunting if I have you. It could be just like old times. Well, hopefully not exactly like old times. I think I've had enough camping and mortal peril for one lifetime.
The world wakes to a new dawn, and we are here to greet it. Not as conquerors, but as saviors. No. But despite everything we gave up when we destroyed the brain, it is good to be here with you. Perhaps now we can make our own destiny. No more gods or monsters, no devils or demons to manipulate our fate. We reclaimed our freedom, though everything was against us. What would you do with it? Yes, that would be good. I'm sure my mother has missed me. She likes competition. We can put the Gondians back to work, rebuild the Steel Watch, and march on the Underdark with an unstoppable army at our back. And a song of conquest on our lips. It will be a glorious homecoming, and you will make a beautiful queen. My name belongs to my mother, so our house will have a new name, your name, and the world will learn to fear it. But we can look to the future tomorrow, or the day after. Today, let us think only of ourselves in this moment. We have won a lifetime together.
When we joined battle for the last time, I did not want to presume we would survive. To feel your touch again seemed like a distant dream. That made last night all the sweeter. Do not be so modest. You gave as good as you got. Part of me wishes we could stay in this room forever, you and I. But there is a new dawn breaking, and I have a part to play. The wars of late have left many with nowhere to turn. Many lost their families, their homes. Some never had them to begin with. They need help. Help that this city cannot provide right now. I shall aid them to make a new place for themselves. In Thaniel's realm, under nature's watch. Now is the time for us to take care of each other. Already people are gathering to depart. The promise of a new life inspires great haste. At last count, there were 9 whole wagons of children in tow. They are my duty now. Daddy Halsin, they call me. Who am I to tell them otherwise? Better than Archdruid ever did. The old teachings could not have foreseen this world. I can see a new way to serve nature now. A path that all can follow if they wish. You must visit as soon as you can. There will be much for you to see, and not a soul among our numbers who will not wish to praise the savior of Baldur's Gate. And well, I shall have my own selfish reasons for wanting to see you again, if you wish the same. You shall. But what about all that you'll miss out on? Your name will be fated in this city. There will be parades, medals, feasts, hands to be shaken, babies to be kissed. Are you truly sure? Well, then let us make haste. You have quite a few little fans who will be overjoyed to make your acquaintance.
It's curious. After all the wonders and monstrosities we've witnessed, waking beside you seems more unreal than any of it. I've forgotten what it felt like to greet a sunrise without fear of it being my last. Soon I'll deliver the crown to Mistra and be rid of the orb at long last. I'll be free. Oh, him! Huh. I've been thinking a lot about that. Gale of Waterdeep. Sounds a bit pompous, don't you think? I thought I might take this opportunity to reinvent myself. Or uninvent myself, to be more accurate. You're now in the company of plain old Gale Decarius, a most brilliant wizard of intentionally limited renown. At your service. Now, I believe this is the moment where I should get to my point, so to speak. I love you. More than I've ever loved anyone, mortal or immortal. And you've proven your love for me in more ways than even the greatest mathematicians would dare to count. That being said, I wondered if you might consider accompanying me back to Waterdeep as a new member of the Decarius clan. I suppose I am. Tara would be delighted, not to mention my mother. But I'd be just as happy without such ceremony. So long as we're together. Then I go where you go. Waterdeep wouldn't be home without you anyway. We'll need to make the arrangements, of course. The Decarius clan is scattered far and wide, and you'll have invites of your own to send out, I'm sure. But that's all to come. The day is young, and there are thousands more days ahead of us.
Hello, darling. I was just thinking about freedom. How I'm free of the parasite. Free of Cazador. How I'll never be in someone's power again. And all it cost was my life in the sun. Now I belong to the shadows. So, what happens next? True, the Spawn will need someone to lead them, otherwise they'll just be a murderous, blood-sucking horde. Although, I couldn't help but notice you said we should find them. Is that what you want? Is this what you want? I would understand if you wanted to go your own way. Good. Because, selfless as I am, I really did not want to let you go. We are rather excellent together, you know. And united, there is nothing we can't do. I can't say what the future holds for us, but I know we'll be facing it together. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
You and Gale have traveled long and far, seeking out knowledge and adventure in the hidden places of the world. Sometimes it isn't clear if he loves the wonderful places his curiosity leads him to more than he loves you. But whenever he looks into your eyes, or up at the stars while he sits by your side, you know the answer. One such night, your reveries are interrupted by an embarrassed courier delivering an urgent message written in a frail hand. An invitation. The location is familiar, and though the road is hard and long, you would not miss this for the world.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
I cannot remember the last time I held the ballad
What
of
a
the
lovely occasion this is.
There's a ditty worthy of a knee slap.
This seems pretty red, but... not even close.
Nice little spot.
Quite as nice as the sitting room, but sure.
I didn't realize you were such a homebody, Tara.
You see, Boo? I told you our friend was near.
I didn't expect to be nervous. But seeing everyone here like this, it's strange, isn't it? I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside. Save it for when we're alone. Anyway, I know it's real. I know we made it. I just wish I could go back in time and reassure the old me that it would all work out. But enough introspection. This is a party. So, we should divvy up what we tell people about what we've been doing these past few months. I'd hate to be a bore that comes along and regurgitates the same story to someone moments after you've told them. Any ideas? Well, there's the visit to the House of the Moon, fending off Sharan assassins. That stray imp that joined us. Bing Bong, wasn't it? We've squeezed in a lot. And I'm glad I got to share it all with you. I'm sure we'll have them hanging off our every word. I'll leave you to do some mingling, unless you need anything else. Why? Are you expecting to be gone for long? All right. I could get lost in those arms. That can be arranged. Almost a shame we're with company. I'd be tempted to let you whisk me away someplace quiet. With music in the air and wine flowing, I think I'll manage. Don't get into trouble, but if you must, fetch me first.
Now, there's a... Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Busy as ever. Better that than the reverse, wouldn't you say? Every major publishing house on the Sword Coast has been vying for my upcoming book on the subject of our adventures together. I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think? Oh, terribly sorry, but you mistake me, my friend. I'm only accepting complimentary feedback at this time. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Breathe deep, Boo! The smell of heroes sings from every stone in this place. To meet again where your journey began, my friend. An honor. For Minsk and his hamster both. Oh, and for Happy also. Happy? Where did the little halfling go, Boo? Soon to be very unhappy, for he has slipped Boo's leash once more. Perhaps he was too shy to meet you. It is just this day that Happy learned of your legend, while we gazed down upon the very city you saved. Granted, Happy dangled upside down from my fist. Minsk caught him, a guild sneak thief sifting through the rubble. When the portal appeared, Minsk was so startled that he dropped the halfling through. Perhaps this is why he has grown dizzy and wandered off. So I have. Though it is a peace made more from blade and boot than it is any sense of brotherhood. 9 fingers forbade any looting of the Illithid's fleshy vessels, and so Minsk guards what remains of the battle site, even from her. But where Minsk might once have thrown any sneaking scoundrels from the tower top, now I tell them of you. How you ruled the wickedness within. How they might do the same. No, of course, it is still for Boo to decide if they live or die. But enough, my friend! I cannot tell your tale if I do not know the whole of it. Minsk and Boo would know where you have been, what you have done. Embrace me, my friend! And should you feel a squirming, know that it is only Boo. Or perhaps the buffet has gone bad. Ha! You are quite coated in hamster hair. Now, wherever you go, Boo goes too. Without tadpoles, Boo. Forgive my hamster squirrelishness. He has developed something of a taste for tadpole, and is displeased with the diet I have been forced to place him on. First, we must find the sneak thief and educate him on the company he keeps. Will Ravengard, the blade of frontiers, devil-horned and angel-hearted. Lae'zel of Creshkiller, true child of Gith and true friend to Boo, though she will and say it is not so. Astarion, who is banished by the sun itself for fear his Spanish soul might outshine it. We visit him much down in the dark places, though he often moves his lair without remembering to tell Minsk where. Gale, the man who would be a god, but then thought better of it. Boo thinks better of him for it too. Shadowheart, 2 gods tugged at her soul, but she managed to keep it all for herself in the end. Wait, Boo, did she do something with her hair? Halsin, Archdruid of Arch... somewhere. He is a much better man than he smells. And there, the champion of... having tentacles, Karlak. She was once very tall and strong like Minsk, but we still like her as she is. And finally, Jahira. If this is a name you do not already know, then not even Boo can save you. I hope you were listening, Happy! Boo says there will be a test! Go, my friend. Be among our friends. There is much work yet to be done before this one is fit to join them.
Well now, you can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to. I'm glad the months have not been wasted. Particularly as I spent them cleaning up the mess we made of the city. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing. Huh. The upper city has been almost entirely rebuilt. That's where the gold is. Even the builder's scaffolds are cleared from the streets. No dust left to sneeze at. Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two, if they don't expel her. Again. I suppose I am. Though they seem determined to make me redundant. Mistake me not. There is still much to be done. Plans to make, maps to be frowned over. But my children are more than capable of doing it. Even the young ones tire of me peeking over their shoulders. This night offers them a brief respite from me, at least. And this place, now I look at it, it is where you all spent your first night together, no? A fine spot for an adventure to begin. A fine spot indeed. Just a little wander, perhaps, to stretch the legs. I'll find my way back, as I always do. I admit defeat. Baldur's Gate is my home. But that is the thing about home. The only way to see it clearly is to leave and look back. For a little while, at least. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you. Quite a bit of climbing, then. I have no doubt the Archdruid keeps you active. But perhaps you can spare the details for later. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
I expect there have been other reunions.
Perhaps the
Soldier, how glad I am to see you again. I'd started to wonder if I ever would. Honestly, never better. My life is so rich now, so multifaceted. I've wanted to share it with you, but maybe I was scared. I've changed so much. But then again, so have you. Don't I know it? It went so fast, didn't it? One moment we were on the Nautiloid, the next we were here. I'd ask you what you'd been up to for 6 whole months, but then I'd have to reciprocate. And I'm not sure you're ready for the truth. Let us test that theory. Do you remember how my favorite food used to be mutton chops? I'm now far more interested in, well, brains. True. But I've found ways to maintain my values while respecting that which I am. That which made it possible for me to live. I've made arrangements with a healer in the city. When a patient is beyond saving, but still able to speak for themselves, they're offered a choice. They can go as nature intends to take them, or when they're ready, when their goodbyes have been said, their affairs settled, and all that awaits them is pain, I relieve them. When I consume their brains, I am nourished by much more than the physical nutrition. Their memories, from birth to death, become part of me. I've lived hundreds of childhoods, first loves, marriages, feuds, and friendships. I remember them all. And in this way, we all live on together. I think of you too. This life of ours, soldier. It's a long one, if we're lucky. Who knows what the future holds for either of us? It's been wonderful to see you again. Reminds me of old times around the campfire. We used to think becoming a mind flayer was a fate worse than death. I wouldn't trade my life, this life, for anything. Funny how things change, isn't it? Enjoy the night, my friend. I know I will.
I expect
Pity mutton chops no longer hold any temptation.
Revelry and community. Jacques Van Findu. For 2 months, Orpheus trained me in the ways of the comet. For 2 more, I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through Limbo. But nothing has made me quiver more than seeing your face here today. That I could touch you in flesh, run my hands across your skin. I can feel you, even taste you in this form. But it is as if a thin layer of glass separates us. I can't quite have the whole of you. It has taken all of Orpheus's efforts to conjure my projection, and all of mine to convince him to let me come. Worth every one of those days and every drop of their sweat, I promise you. But soon I'll find some way to see you in flesh, to touch you as you were meant to be touched. Shractalor. Let's say both. I can't imagine a greater pleasure than Vlakit's unmaking. Shractalor is the capital of the Githzerai, an exiled people, once kin with mine until the madness of civil war ripped out one sky into two. Our Gish sent word of the rebellion to their god king Zareth Myranni-Story through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance. You'd know better than anyone, my love.
Love. The word hangs in the air for a moment, before Lae'zel continues, unfazed.
My blade is keen as ever, but it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Myranni-Story is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am a warrior of the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlakit's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm. Soon, when the comet has risen, when the Lich Queen has crumbled to dust, I miss this place. More to the point, I miss you. I wouldn't even deny it with Vlakit's vorpal blade at my neck. Though, I'd rather it not come to that. Now go, mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle. I'll be back one day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away. So it has. And a fine man the hatchling will be. I call him Zaan. Freedom. He is with the mages of Zamvadim. I trust his care to no one else. Zaan's destiny will be his own to follow. Warrior, poet, explorer, scholar. His way will be the way of the comet. No chains to bind us, no lies to bury us. Liberty will be the rallying cry that unites our empire.
My love! Oh, gods. I smell like a 70-year-old cinder. Withers yanked me from Avernus with my blade halfway through a Cambion's belly without so much as a chance at washing up. And from the smell of it, you're in the same condition. By the 9 hells, think of the stories we could tell. The demons we've disintegrated, the devilkin we've bled. You must have a favorite, yeah? A fight you still savor. I'll never forget its howls as it sank into the magma. The hells fear your name, and the Sword Coast hails it. My lover, my legend. Ah, but we should get back to the celebration. Unless there's something on your mind. He's doing well. The rebuilding of Baldur's Gate continues apace. And he's back in his element, commanding the Flaming Fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's Chosen primed the Fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart. I won't lie. Losing the eldritch blasts and the hexes took some getting used to. Nothing but void where once there was hellfire. But you stoke new fires in me. The Blade of Avernus is now the ranger he was destined to be. Go on, my treasure. The night's young. You shouldn't waste a moment of it. Or waste a single drop of wine, for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oops. Did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen. The whole gang is here. Wish I'd had time to polish up the
Yes, my
horns.
love. Are you done talking to your friends? Can we leave? I think not. They may respect me or fear me, but I do not think they like me. It is the only thing. Let us finish our socializing and be done. In truth, I have never enjoyed parties, although they do present the perfect opportunity for a poisoning. Taste my lips. They are already laced with toxins. None shall be spared tonight, not even you. Now go. Mingle, carouse, indulge. Tomorrow we return to the Underdark, and our campaign against my house continues. We will need all of our strength. I always have strength enough for you. Do not make me wait long. I expect there have been other reunions to which I was not invited.
He's going to kill me, isn't he? Not the big mad bastard. The hamster.
Cool, fresh air. By the living gods, I needed it.
I was eager to attend tonight, yet I cannot help but fear that it may be a mistake. Do you know what I speak of? Oh, to have your confidence. You must think me like a mother hen. All these months, and I haven't been away from what we built together. There's a whole community out in Thaniel's realm that has never known a day without our presence. Being away from it, I cannot help but worry how they will fare in our absence. I just hope the children get by without me there for their bedtime stories. Tell me, are you happy with the path we tread together? I took you from a life of high adventure to one that can be described as, well, anything but. I thought perhaps that seeing everyone once again and hearing of all that they've been doing, it might awaken some regret about the life we lead. You could have done anything, gone with anyone, yet you chose me. I'm glad to hear it. Forgive an old fool in need of a little reassurance. I am still expecting to stir from the dream. You must be eager to speak to some of the others. I shall be fine. Do not allow me to keep you. Always. Your embrace makes me feel safer than any armor could. You read my mind. I shall never tire of that. Of course. Seeing them free and happy may be my proudest achievement. And now they have more playmates than they could ever wish for. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned. Be sure to take your own advice. This is a special night, for all of us.
To the taste of sun-fed plants.
The psionic projection is holding.
Oh, hello, darling. I wasn't sure you'd make it. Are you? Withers and I have a regular correspondence. He's joined me and Mrs. Decarios for a luncheon on more than one occasion. Of course, we'd love to see yourself and Gale more often, but you keep him so very busy, and we hate to impose. I'd like that very much. Thank you, darling. Now, enjoy your party. You've quite earned it, if the balladeers are to be believed.
You're quite certain I look acceptable. Our adventures rarely lend themselves to luxury. Or cleanliness, for that matter. It's been some time since I've made such an effort. Not in front of Tara, please.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm only your oldest friend and your mother's most voluble confidant. Do whatever you please. I don't mind.
I won't keep you to myself for too long. But while I have you, I want to say thank you for encouraging me to attend this evening. I confess, when I left Waterdeep, there was a part of me afraid that I might regret my decision. But I never have. The chance to see life through your good eye as well as my own. It's been everything I hoped it would be. I'm delighted to be here amongst friends again. But part of me is reluctant to step away from our new life, even for such a gathering as this. Come now. Our adventures have offered far more than the potential for destruction. I have enough looted literature to fill a dozen libraries.
I'm just glad I'm not the only one encouraging you to leave the library once in a while. It does one good to feel the grass beneath one's paws from time to time.
I don't know where to begin in telling people what we've been up to. I suspect they won't believe me. Ah, but only in the pursuit of other pleasures besides the study of magic. Writing, painting, spot of knitting. Oh, never been so relaxed. Our lives are certainly a far cry from the one I once pictured. Even now, with the orb's fires quelled by Mystra at last, I scarcely dare believe it. Before we met, I fear I was rather stuck in my ways. And stuck inside my tower with a world-shattering orb of magic sealed within my chest, to be fair to myself. I was afraid to so much as dream of a night like this. To hope that my life might amount to more than lonely, bitter disappointment. And then I found you. Standing here, now, I no longer see the people we were. Frightened, desperate, alone. We changed. We survived. And we did it together. I've missed them. I've missed this. I wouldn't go quite that far. Living without the threat of imminent ceremorphosis seems infinitely preferable to life on the precipice of such a transformation. As I told you long ago, it is to be avoided. God knows we suffered for our salvation, but it was worth it, wasn't it? We did something incredible. And wherever life takes us, we'll carry the memory of that with us forever. Now, much as I could spend an eternity in your company, we see plenty of each other already. Tempting as it is to keep you all to myself, would be terrible company if we didn't mingle for at least part of the evening. I love you. Now go on, before I change my mind.
A familiar sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
I found this. It smelled like you, so I kept it. Seemed like something you might like to throw. Oh, I've been so good. I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named Mindy says I'm her best friend. She's mine too. Also you. I've got so many best friends, I hardly know who to play with. I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you. You know best, but a little fetch never hurt anyone, as far as I know.
I fear I am becoming accustomed to the taste of sun-fed plants.
Nice to return to familiar environs.
I would kill for a glass of Ulava wine.
song, good company, and good wine from the looks of it.
Withers has laid out quite a spread of food, for one comprising mostly of bone. Perhaps he wishes to live vicariously through the attendees' appetites.
I expect there have been other reunions to which I was not invited. I fear I am becoming accustomed to the taste of sun-fed plants. I fear I am becoming accustomed to the taste of sun-fed plants. I would kill for a glass of Ulava wine.
I pity mutton chops no longer hold any temptation.
Oh, pardon me.
I expect there have been other reunions to which I was not invited.
Oh, we must treat Happy with kindness. How else we learn what it is
A beautiful
to be
night. I wish it could last forever.
Made present.
Why
I'm
were
glad
we
for it.
scrounging in barrels and crates for
this.
supplies when he could source
Those
these?
phantoms. And we brought another
God,
bag.
I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
I fear I am becoming accustomed to the taste of sun-fed plants.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these? God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
The whole gang is here. Wish I'd had time to polish up the horns.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these? God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
I would kill for a glass of Ulava wine. I expect there have been other reunions to which I was not invited.
Cool, fresh air. By the living gods, I needed it.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these? God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
What a lovely occasion this is.
I fear I am becoming accustomed to the taste of sun-fed plants.
What more could I wish for?
Though I'm going to get very hungry very soon.
Suddenly I had a spot of deja vu.
Good song, good company, and good wine from the looks of it.
And how have our friends fared without us? I'm glad. It would be so easy to go through everything we did and come out the other side bitter and twisted. But they deserve happiness. We all do. And I will forever be grateful to have found it with you. I do feel a little bad keeping you all to myself. After all, I get to see you every night. Go on, go mingle. Enjoy your time with the others. Bless them with your presence. I'll be here when you're ready. I'll always be here, my love.
Nice little spot, isn't it? The sitting room, but... Realize you were such a homebody.
I expect there have been other reunions to which I was not.
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel? If thou could only see the paths of fate untaken, thy mind would surely break. Be glad of thy chosen path. It is, after all, thine. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much. What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you.